I tried everything to succeed. I worked 80-hour weeks, read every business book, hired coaches, and still felt stuck watching others pass me by. That's what Michael, a former client, told me before discovering the principle I'm sharing today. 6 months later, he doubled his income while working fewer hours. This isn't a unique case. I've documented 53 similar transformations using the exact framework I'm about to show you. It's based on Viktor Frankl's insight that success is never achieved through direct pursuit, but emerges naturally when you redirect your focus to something specific I'll reveal in just a moment. Have you ever noticed how the people who seem most desperate for success are often the ones who never achieve it? This paradox has destroyed more dreams than failure ever could. I discovered this truth the hard way, grinding through 80-hour work weeks for nearly 3 years straight. My life became an obsessive ritual of tracking every goal in color-coded spreadsheets, measuring progress in 15-minute increments, and gradually watching my relationships deteriorate as I convinced myself that temporary sacrifices would lead to lasting success. The more frantically I chased success, the more it seemed to recede into the distance. The psychiatrist Viktor Frankl identified this phenomenon decades ago. He noted that success behaves remarkably like a cat. The more aggressively you chase it, the faster it runs away. But ignore it completely, focus on something else entirely. And suddenly it's rubbing against your leg, demanding attention. This isn't just a clever metaphor, it's a psychological principle that explains why direct pursuit often backfires. Psychologists call this cognitive fixation, a mental state where our intense focus on specific outcomes actually impairs our ability to achieve them. When we become fixated on success markers, the promotion, the income milestone, the recognition, our brain narrows its perception, filtering out critical information and creative possibilities that don't directly align with our fixated goal. This tunnel vision makes us less adaptable, less innovative, and ironically, less likely to succeed. Research from the Harvard Business School shows that highly achievement-oriented individuals frequently sabotage themselves through what researchers call outcome bias. In a fascinating study tracking professionals across various industries, they found that participants who focused intensely on achievement metrics showed 37% lower problem-solving capabilities during complex tasks compared to those who focused on process mastery. The pressure to succeed literally made them worse at the very skills they needed to succeed. I witnessed this pattern with my client Michael, a software engineer who seemed perpetually stuck at the senior developer level despite consistently putting in more hours than his peers. During our first session, he proudly showed me his productivity tracking system, a complex arrangement of time blocks, task categorizations, and efficiency metrics that would make even the most dedicated productivity guru blush. Yet for all his effort and meticulous tracking, Michael remained frustrated watching less qualified colleagues advance beyond him. "I don't understand," he told me, exhaustion evident in his voice. "I'm working harder than everyone else. What am I missing?" What Michael couldn't see was how his relentless focus on advancement was actually rewiring his brain in counterproductive ways. Neuroscience research reveals that prolonged stress from constant striving triggers elevated cortisol levels, which literally reshape our brain's decision-making pathways. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for creative problem-solving and strategic thinking, becomes less active, while the amygdala, our threat response center, becomes hyperactive. We become more reactive, less innovative, and increasingly blind to opportunities that don't fit our predefined notions of success. For Michael, the breakthrough came from an unexpected direction. During a particularly frustrating project, he temporarily abandoned his advancement focus and instead became absorbed in solving an interesting technical problem that was causing his team significant challenges. Without the pressure of self-advancement clouding his judgment, he created an elegant solution that not only resolved the immediate issue, but introduced a framework that improved workflow across multiple departments. The recognition and promotion he'd been chasing for years arrived within months, not because he pursued it more effectively, but because he stopped pursuing it entirely. This reveals the central paradox. Success comes not from chasing it directly, but from redirecting our focus towards something greater than ourselves. When we shift our attention from achievement to contribution, from self-advancement to problem solving, we unlock capabilities and opportunities that remain invisible to those caught in the achievement trap. We transform effort from depleting to energizing because our focus moves from what we can get to what we can give. The shift from achievement to value creation isn't just an abstract philosophy, it's a neurological rewiring that transforms how you experience work itself. Einstein captured this perfectly when he advised, try not to become a man of success, rather become a person of value. Notice how he wasn't suggesting a strategy for achieving success, but a fundamental identity shift that makes conventional striving obsolete. What makes this approach so powerful? Think about the most extraordinary contributors throughout history. They weren't obsessed with becoming legends. They were consumed by solving problems that mattered deeply to them. Einstein wasn't attempting to become Einstein. He was exploring questions about the universe that fascinated him. His breakthrough discoveries emerged not from ambition, but from genuine curiosity and dedication to understanding physical reality. This distinction creates two radically different mental frameworks. The achievement-focused mind constantly asks, how will this advance my career? Will this get me recognized? How much will this pay? It's exhausting because you're perpetually measuring yourself against external metrics that never quite satisfy. In contrast, the value creation mindset asks, does this solve a real problem? Will this make someone's life better? Am I contributing something meaningful? The former depletes your energy, the latter generates it. One powerful technique for accelerating this transformation is what psychologists call strategic incompetence. Deliberately embracing being bad at something as you develop. Most achievement-oriented professionals avoid situations where they might appear incompetent, limiting themselves to activities they've already mastered. This prevents them from developing new capabilities. By intentionally entering domains where you lack skill but can create value, you bypass the paralyzing effects of perfectionism. Your focus shifts from how do I look to what can I contribute. Consider the trajectory of entrepreneurs who achieve extraordinary success only after abandoning conventional measures of achievement. Many struggled when focused primarily on financial gains or status. Their breakthrough moments came when they redirected their energy towards solving meaningful problems. They stopped asking, how can I make money? And started asking, what genuine value can I create? The most successful businesses emerged from genuine contributions, not calculated profit-seeking. Implementing this shift requires a practical framework I call the cause greater than oneself approach. It works in 3 steps. First, identify problems that genuinely matter to you, issues that stir your emotions when you think about them. Second, honestly assess your unique capabilities, even those that seem ordinary to you. Third, find the intersection point where your abilities can address those meaningful problems, creating value that only you can deliver in your unique way. What's fascinating is how this mental shift transforms the experience of work itself. When focused on achievement metrics, our brain activates stress remainder systems associated with threat and comparison. But when engaged in contribution-focused work, different neural pathways activate, those associated with intrinsic motivation and flow states. This explains why value creators often accomplish extraordinary things without experiencing the same burnout and exhaustion as achievement chasers. This principle operates across every field. In creative pursuits, the artists who focus on expressing authentic truth rather than commercial success produce the most innovative work. In corporate environments, employees who identify meaningful problems to solve become indispensable, while those focused on promotions often plateau. Entrepreneurs who build businesses around genuine contributions create sustainable enterprises, while those fixated on quick profits struggle with market changes. The ultimate paradox reveals itself when you stop chasing success directly and focus instead on creating genuine value. Success naturally gravitates toward you. You no longer need to pursue it, it pursues you. The obstacles that once blocked your path dissolve, not because you've overcome them with force, because you're no longer on the same path. You've discovered an entirely different route to extraordinary results. Here it is, the ultimate irony of human potential. The professionals who achieve true mastery aren't those grinding themselves into dust with relentless effort. Research confirms what we've been uncovering throughout this journey. People who focus on contribution rather than achievement consistently report higher fulfillment and satisfaction. Think about this transformation waiting for you. The moment you stop frantically asking, "How can I succeed?" and instead ask, "What meaningful value can I create?" everything shifts. Your brain relaxes from its stress-induced hypervigilance. Your work transforms from depleting to energizing. And paradoxically, the success that once seemed so elusive begins gravitating toward you without the exhausting chase. This isn't about doing more, it's about becoming more. When you orient yourself toward creating genuine value, you stop pursuing success and start attracting it. The best version of yourself emerges not through force, but through focus on something greater than yourself.